Hey, how's it going, everyone? What is up? Welcome back to the channel and another Mortal Kombat discussion. So there is absolutely jack shit going on in the Mortal Kombat community right now, besides a bunch of drama, which nothing is new there. We all expect that at this point from this community, but there's no news, no updates, nothing of significance. And I felt like today it'd be interesting to talk about the next guest that is coming to Mortal Kombat. Now, I know a lot of people have a big problem with guests, right? And even I have a problem with guests to a certain extent, but to a certain extent, I also understand that they are a necessary evil and it brings in a lot of people. But the interesting thing about Mortal Kombat 11 is Kombat Pack 3 is basically guaranteed. We know this. There's still 5 characters in the game data files and the game files that have not been used. We just don't know who they are. And we're assuming 1 or 2 are a guest. And, you know, it's kind of strange because Ed Boon has already confirmed that there will be no more 80s action heroes in this game. We maxed out when it came with Rambo. That's all the 80s action heroes we're going to get. So all these crazy leaks coming out talking about Mad Max and Ripley from Alien and all those other crazy ass characters, that's not going to happen. Now people are going even further left field saying characters like Freddy Fazbear and like some other whack ass characters, and I just don't think that's realistic. I think the area that we can look in as most likely to pull a guest character from is, we don't really have to look far. There's already another guest character in the game, Spawn and Joker. There's 2 other guest characters in the game that are not 80s action heroes, and I think we can kind of move Spawn to the side because I feel like that was more fan service than anything else, and we can really pull Joker out right there, okay? So, Injustice is a hugely popular franchise. It's DC, it's an Elseworld DC story where Superman went crazy. We all know that, right? We all know that Injustice 3 is coming. Whether it's the next game, whether a Marvel game is the next game from NRS, we know there have been talks about that straight from Ed Boon's mouth. Whatever happens with the next game, we know Injustice 3 is coming at some point in time. Well, we already have Joker in the game. I feel like DC is going to be, Injustice specifically, is going to be the perfect category to pull from when we're talking about the next guest character. There are a multitude of characters that they can actually pull from DC. Now, there are most characters that are good are off limits, right? Like Batman, he's off limits. Superman, he's off limits. Supergirl, she's off limits. Wonder Woman, all of those characters that are in every other story, the good guy, or, you know, even in Injustice, the good guy, they're not going to be picked. Like Wonder Woman, she's too popular. She's a good girl. In all the other DC stories that are mainstream and canon, she's a good guy. Nothing happening there. Superman, the same shit there. Batman, he's good in every fucking story, pretty much. So the big characters, the big good characters are just off limits. So we really have to look at the anti-heroes or the bad guys. And I feel like there are 3 villains and 1 anti-hero, I think. Yeah, 3 villains and 1 anti-hero from Injustice that have appeared in Injustice that I feel like would be amazing picks for Mortal Kombat 11. And the first one is, and probably my top pick, well, I kind of have 2 ties for that, and that is Scarecrow. Scarecrow was a standout character in Injustice 2. Not the most popular character in the world, especially not the most popular Batman character, villain even. He was really made a standout character in Injustice 2. Now, that could be due to White Boy. I don't know if you guys watched competitive Injustice 2, but I remember when I first started playing the game, I played it at release, and when all the tournaments were popping off, the big Scarecrow player, White Boy, fucking beating Sonic Fox at, what was it, CEO or Combo Breaker or some shit? Beating Sonic Fox with his insane Scarecrow. That boosted the popularity of the character, and if that didn't do it, then of course it was Robert Englund, the actor who portrayed Freddy Krueger, voicing the character Scarecrow in Injustice 2. Overall, he had an amazing design in Injustice 2, an awesome moveset, a nice rush down, long range normals. He had an amazing moveset, great voice actor backing him. He was just an overall awesome character. I feel like he would fit really well in Mortal Kombat, especially Mortal Kombat 11, because really the character pretty much already played like a Mortal Kombat 11 character in Injustice 2. They just have to slow the character down, take away his his bounce, his wall bounce, both of them, of course. But the long range normals, they already fit Mortal Kombat 11, like he fits in fun. I feel like Scarecrow would be a good pick. He's been like my number 1 since we've started talking about DC guest characters. My number 2 is actually Red Hood. Red Hood, I feel like he would fit just as well. Of course, he's an anti-hero. I feel like he would almost fit a little bit better than Scarecrow just because Joker's in the game. I feel like Red Hood would fit because of that relationship with Joker being in the game. We've all wanted to see Jason Todd, Red Hood. If you're a big fan of comics, if you're a big fan of Batman, if you're a big fan of the Bat family, I'm not even a fan of Batman, I just like the Bat family. I like Nightwing. I love Red Hood. He's one of my favorite DC characters, and to actually see him in Mortal Kombat getting to beat the ever-living shit out of Joker and do fatalities and brutalities on the character and everything else, I feel like that's a nerd's dream right there, at least a Bat family nerd's dream, to have that character in the game with Joker in a game like this to where the brutality is there. I feel like the character fits Mortal Kombat. He's a very violent character, even in the mainstream toned-down DC. Under the Red Hood is one of the best animated movies ever released, as far as superheroes go, and it was just a great movie in general. Take away the animated aspect from it, and they could get the perfect voice actor for Jason Todd. No, motherfucker, not Troy Baker. Of course, Jensen Ackles. Jensen Ackles did voice Jason Todd in Under the Red Hood, the Batman animated movie. He played the character great. He loved playing the character, and he's been a fan favorite to actually live action play the character, and I've been a big supporter in that. I'd love to see that. He did a Red Hood cosplay a couple years ago, 3-4 years ago. Looked amazing as Red Hood. I feel like he would be the perfect fit for the character's voice in MK11, and he probably wouldn't be that hard to get, especially considering that Supernatural is over. He's branching out doing other things. But my last pick is kind of in left field, and yes, I know this one is less likely and probably not the pick. Most people are going to go with Deathstroke or someone like that, or Deadshot. I'm going with Reverse Flash. Professor Zoom, specifically. I'm going with Professor Zoom, Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne. Just because we already have that cocky-ass Cabal in the game. It'd be cool to have another speedster in the game. Reverse Flash would fit well. He's always been a very violent comic book character, especially in DC. He's killed Iris West more times than I could count, and I feel like having that character and using a speedster is powers, using those powers in the way that they could in Mortal Kombat 11, other than how Cabal uses his with his hooks and everything else. I feel like the way that they could use Professor Zoom, Reverse Flash's powers, Speedster powers, the way that they use them in DC could be very interesting in Mortal Kombat 11. I feel like all they gotta do is pretty much port over the Premier skin from Injustice 2, fix up the moveset a little bit. You can't have Flash going fucking nuts in Mortal Kombat 11. It just doesn't play like that unless you want another Jackie in the game, and get the same voice actor, and I feel like it would do just fine. I know that's like an off-the-wall, out-of-left-field pick, but I feel like we could use another fast character in Mortal Kombat, even if it is a guest character. It'd be very interesting to see. But those are my 3 guest character picks. I don't necessarily want another movie guest character. I don't want another 80s action hero. Hell, at this point, I really don't even want Michael Myers or Ash Williams in the game. I'd rather save them for a Mortal Kombat that I actually enjoy playing. Nothing against Mortal Kombat 11. I know they were doing the design that they wanted to do, but I personally don't enjoy it. I'd much rather have those characters in a game much the same as MKX, where I can continue to come back to the game for years and love it and have fun. I'd rather have those 2 characters in a game like MK12 that hopefully is a game that I can do that with. So yeah, I'd more so like to see some DC guest characters come in, get us amped up and prepared for Injustice 3 whenever the hell that's coming. But those are my picks and those are my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below. What guest character would you like to see? Would you like to see DC? Would you still like to see Ash or Michael Myers? Let me know in the comments down below. Very interested to hear what you guys have to say. And what do you think about my list? DC characters specifically. What DC character would you like to see? I'm imagining it's probably going to be a lot of Deathstrokes and Deathshots, but I'm still curious. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. Stay tuned for the YouTube Q&A coming out today. We're going to be doing a live stream here on YouTube, doing a Q&A. I haven't done one in a while. Answering some questions, why the hell I haven't been streaming, and all that good stuff. But that's going to do it for this video. Huge shout out to my supporters. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. But my name is Tootin. I've been your host, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.